Oh, hey, what are you doing there on the board?
Me? Just hanging around.
Wait, what's the list for the Colt for 2024? Ah,
Just some things I was thinking about doing for this year's build.
okay.
You know.
So we got what? More power, billet.
Yeah, billet parts for sure.
I seen that you
Everybody
got.
loves billet parts, right?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, weight reduction.
Wait a minute, what is it? Ellis? I don't know about that. Exo
What?
cart. What is?
Yeah, man, just get the sawzall out, cut it up.
Okay, but I see something all the way at the bottom.
Wait.
What?
Oh, that
Safety?
guy? Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I'm not gonna worry about that guy.
Oh.
Welcome back to CSM TV. We're back in the shop today. It has been a little while since our last video. I was kind of holding out, hoping I could get the Pony Express back out to the track from our last outing, but just couldn't make it happen, unfortunately. We did do really well last time we were out. I couldn't be happier. We got a PB, got pretty deep into the nines, and yeah, now it is winter in Indiana. It's November, all the tracks are closed, so that means it is build season. So yeah, we will go over some of the things that we're gonna do to the car this year. I've been slacking a little bit trying to get a list going of what's going on with the Colt this year. These are all old things that I didn't get done last year that I still want to do eventually. But instead of sitting around making a list, we need to kind of get to work. Got about 3 weeks to get the car ready to actually go get a new cage put in the car. So right now it has a mild steel 6-point cage in it, and we need a 10-point. We have broken cert a couple of times, and in order to race some of the bigger tracks, I'm going to need more cage, and I like to step up safety and try to be as safe as possible on the track. So we need to do that this year. So we need to get to work. The first thing what we're going to do is pull the transmission cooler and the lines. Quick disconnect fittings make it nice just to pop these lines off real quick. And we don't have to worry about them leaking all over the place, either on the shop floor or on the car itself. So we'll pull the lines off. The cooler is in the back of the car, which I do plan on changing, so that's one of the reasons why we're going to pull it. Also, it might get in the way of the sheet mount. I'm not real sure. I will make sure it's not there for the cage builder, just in case. Just make his life easier. So we're going to pull all of this stuff out. We won't worry about putting anything back at the moment. That's something we can take care of a little bit later. So we'll just go ahead and get this done. And then, yeah, worry about that, remounting it another day. Next up, we're going to move to the inside of the car. We got to pull everything out because I did opt to cut the cage out myself. I'm no welder, but I do know how to work a sawzall and a grinder, so we could save some dollars there. And then really, I do need to pull out all this interior anyways myself, because if anybody has owned a 90s car or 90s Mitsubishi, some of these parts are super fragile, especially at this point. The Colts are notorious to have these cluster surrounds just shatter for looking at them wrong, basically. So I want to get all that stuff out of there. I want the cage builder to have to deal with some of this brittle 90s interior. Stay. With the dash out of the way, we can start pulling everything off of this factory dash bar. I do believe we're going to have to cut this out to try to get the cage tucked in. as close as we can. I haven't talked about it with the cage builder yet, but I figure once I drop the car off, we'll talk about it then. So I do want to get everything out of the way. And anything I pull off this thing, I'm trying to cap off or tape and label it so I don't forget where it goes. And then finally, we do need to pull the ECU and the PDM. You don't want to leave these in while somebody is welding on my car. You want to pull those out and make sure they don't get damaged. I kept these for a reason. And it's okay to be a hoarder. Now for the fun part. Okay, that was easy. Alright, all done passenger side. Now we just got to do the driver's side. Alright, let's get to it. And just like that, we got everything out of the car. It needs to be in there and almost ready to cut everything out. I need to get everything covered up. So I want to minimize the mess and then somehow cap all these connectors, whatnot, because I don't think I'm going to take out the harness. Might talk to the cage builder, see if he wants it out, but I would like to leave it in. It's pretty minimal, so hopefully he can work around it. And got a few rogue bolts that were under the carpet. Nothing fun. Oh, a zip tie. Tight. Alrighty, got everything plasticed off. Probably didn't need to go that far, but too late now. I want to keep all the mess contained. Probably more or less when grinding, which probably use a blanket anyways to catch some of that, because like hot metals sparks at plastic aren't going to do much, but try to keep everything contained as I can. Try to keep it clean in there. Keep it from hitting the windows, which these side windows are pretty pitted anyways from previous stuff, so it's not a big deal. The windshield is really the main concern because you can't get those anymore. Ask me, I paid a lot of money for that one when I broke my other one. So yeah, we're going to break out the Sawzall first and see how this goes. Started cutting this thing with a smaller Milwaukee battery-powered Sawzall. It's the only thing that would really fit down at the bottom of the door bars. So it was a little bit of a struggle to try to cut these out. It was hard to get any sort of leverage the way I had to hold it, but we got through that and we switched to the DeWalt corded Sawzall, which made things a little bit easier. But that back bar was a little bit of a struggle, at least the first one. The second one on the driver's side was a little bit easier because I knew kind of angle I needed to go about it, and I left a little material there to make it easier on myself. So we tried to get as close as we could so we don't have to grind as much, but you know, you got to go with what you can do. I think this thing's just gonna fall right out. Oh yeah. Oof. And like you guys saw, cage is out. Came out pretty big piece there. I just wasn't sure if it was gonna fit, so that's awesome. Less cutting I have to do. The fun stuff is just beginning though. I'm gonna have to grind down all these nubs, which Not all too terrible. I think this is the worst of it. It's gonna suck to get in there, but got a brand new flap disc, so hopefully it's not too bad. Let's get into it. The blanket I used was a bad choice, of course. Get a welding blanket. We had one here and I grabbed the wrong thing, so I don't know why I didn't grab this in the first place, but do that. Don't do what I did. Back to it. Okay, after many hours of cutting and grinding, which is hard to show, and it doesn't truly show how awful this was, which it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. I don't really want to do it again. So next time I pick a cage, which I believe this cage was in the car for, I don't know if I've already said this, at least the whole time I've had the car, basically. I put it in right away once I got the swap, so really not a big deal. It lasted me a really long time, so can't complain. Anyways, got everything ground down, all the corners, which was not fun. These were probably the worst, but we got through it. The next thing we got to do is do something with this floor. So I want to put a back seat in this, mainly for class rules. A lot of the street classes, you have to have full interior mostly, but a rear back seat. And right now I can't do that because this is just, none of these are popped. So the floor is raised a little bit with these guys, so even though we just got everything cleaned out, I'm gonna have to make another mess grinding these out. These are just riveted on with those, you can see with those tabs. So we have to grind those rivets out and pull these guys out of there. And then try to reuse this piece, get it a little flatter, and then we can mount the seat. Because right now it's raised up way too high. So I'm gonna get to grinding again. Shit. Okay, we need an update, which isn't much of an update because I actually ended up putting those brackets back in, and I'm gonna run the floor as it is. Once I got them out and started messing around with the seat, it didn't actually fit up the way I thought it was going to. So really, it's not gonna be that hard to modify that seat to work with that floor. So I think it's a waste of time to go back and modify all this sheet metal to make it just a little bit, fit a little better when the seat can fit just fine. I thought it fit a little differently in there, but once I got it in there, I'm gonna have to make brackets for these little bolt guys back here anyways, which I thought were still in the car, but I guess not. I guess they got cut out with the floor. So yeah, we can work with that, or just maybe I can get away with not running one. We'll see. I don't know. But anyways, we got to move on to something else. We're going to put up the trim panels just back here on the back windows, and then move on to putting the seats in. And I want to fit those a little better there. And I didn't like how they sat there, leaned back too much, but I couldn't lean them forward because the front door bars were in the way. So I'm going to put the seat exactly where I want it. And I think that is all we need to do before we get this ready for Norm to go. So just keep chugging along. All right, we got everything back in the car that needs to be in there for the chassis guy. It's going to Norm. I don't remember if I said that. Onto Storm and Norman roll cage. Did a lot of cages for all my friends, which probably said early in the video. I just don't remember. Anyways, I was hoping, one thing I was hoping to do was to adjust the seats a little bit. Got it on these really janky brackets I made out of a factory rail, and these brackets you can get off Summit. Unfortunately, there's no adjustment in them because there's a little bracket underneath that's hitting the bottom of the seat, so can't adjust them. I thought the roll bar was in the way, which it was, but it looks like the brackets are in the way themselves as well. So we'll see. I did ask him if he could make some brackets. He seemed a little iffy on it, so we'll see if we can talk him into it, and that'd be awesome. Try to get the seat position a little more comfortable than I'd like. Right now they're a little far tilted back. I'd like to get a little straighter position, but if we can't, we can't. We'll see. We'll see when we drop the car off and talk to him. But since it is ready to go, we got to load up here in a couple days and drop it up to Norm. So we're going to call it on this video. Thanks for watching, and we hopefully will see you on the next one.